And you know what's the crazy part, chat? And then I had to see this through the experience. It'll be like when you're working on something, right? You feel like you got worse, and then the next day you wake up better. Like it's the crazy. I only seen it like twice, where like I'm playing. Specifically, I remember when I was working on that Jimi Hendrix riff. Now I could do that riff in my sleep, but like if I like, this shit is hard to do. Like it's a very, very tough journey to do. And mind you, what I had to do with it is do it 100 times, and I only counted if I did it successfully, right? Now if I play the riff, right, just listen. That shit, bro, listen, he squeezed so many notes in 4 seconds. But this is why he was known to be one of the best guitar players ever. The point is, it took me like 5 days focusing only on that part just to get it. I'm not saying 5 days to get it like, oh, bro, that's a little bit. No. This is after months. This is after months of playing, bro. Stack it up, Mar. I appreciate it in 3 months, bro. Ayo, and it probably felt like you were going nowhere at the time. I'm telling you, it's the craziest shit ever. It's like, yo, I felt like I got worse going to sleep that night, but I toughened through that and still kept going, still kept getting through the frustration. And I woke up 10 times better the next day. It's crazy. My social anxiety is very bad. Like, not even just talking, because your comfort zone is small, bro. Talking to girls, I'm talking like having a normal conversation. Like, I struggle trying to build a connection with people. Can you at least point me in the direction of experience? Your comfort zone is tiny. It's probably the size of a period in a sentence. Me and you can be next to each other, and I feel zero anxiety. And your anxiety is making you have a panic attack, damn near. And that's because of how you see the world and how I see the world. But more than that, how do I see myself in the world? Right? There's something that people call imposter syndrome. And it's when someone is, let's say you get a new job and you're in a place and you feel like you don't belong there. That's because in your mind, who you think you are does not fit the scenario or the situation. Meanwhile, somebody else is in that same situation, arrogant and confident, or fuck arrogance, but let's just say confident and firm and stable, and they just feel very sure of themselves. It's because of how we view ourselves differently. And a lot of y'all with social anxiety and all types of things like this, is that you allow your social anxiety to control you. So now your comfort zone been small. Your comfort zone been like this little, right? This like a little ass dot, right? And then every time you let your anxiety stop you from talking to a human being or taking a risk or doing something, it just gets smaller and smaller, and then years go by and you have the same level of social anxiety you had when you were 16, except you're 26 now. People scare you just as much as they did. Fear controls you just as much as it did. And the sad part is, hate to break it to you, but your life won't change unless you make it. It does not get better. It does not change. It won't change. You have to be the one. That's the best thing, though. I'm gonna tell you something. That's the best thing that's the best position to be in when you're starting to get your mind right. Because you want the control. I want the control. Because then it's all on me. If I look back on today, right? No, I did Patreon DMs. I'm live right now. I went to lessons and stuff, and then I'm gonna still do stuff after I'm done. And then when I end stream, I'm gonna record a Patreon video, etc. Like let's just compare two things. If I look back on my last 24 hours and I ain't have shit to show for it, because I'm in control of myself like everyone is, it's on me. The opposite is true though. If I had the most productive day ever, I learned so much today. I achieved so much today. Who do I have to blame? That's what I want. You know, if this was a lazy ass unproductive day, I want to be the person to blame. I don't want to blame nobody else. Because if I say, oh no, my mom had me run here, and then, you know, this happened and I had a bad morning, I could like your life is just out of control. When you have no control over yourself, that's where anxiety dwells because it's like you feel like a victim. I don't feel like a victim. What I say? There ain't no such thing as pressure when I'm the one applying it. Fuck you mean pressure? You nervous? You anxious? About what? Nigga, I'm the pressure. I'm the pressure. I'm the one applying it. It ain't getting applied to me. Advice for a 27-year-old virgin. Got 60 approaches in this month. Got audio of the best ones and still stuck. I never connect with these girls. It's just convo. Just sell to your Patreon. As my guy Steve would say, you're doing what's called talking at them instead of talking to them. You're not even treating them like a human being. You're looking at yourself as a 27-year-old virgin, and you're probably feeling the need to lose your virginity, and you're putting all this pressure on yourself, and you're seeing her as a means to an end, which is the end of your virginity. And instead of like actually dealing with her like a human in present time and enjoying and appreciating life, you're stuck in your head. You could have, it don't matter. You putting in all the work, but you're running in place. That's the thing. You can run fast and hard as shit on a treadmill. You could be running speed breaking limits on a treadmill, and I could be walking and I'll get further than you. That's what you're doing. You're running on a treadmill. I'm too focused on pursuing women every day. I'm always looking to approach a woman. I waste a lot of time and energy. How do I fix this? Nothing's broken. It's just that your belief system is working for you. So you believe that there's a lot of value in doing what you're doing, which is why you do it. You got to change your belief system and then start believing that there's different actions that are worth your time. That's all we have is belief systems which dictate our actions. Stop vaping that shit. You're mental more than you know. I mean, you got to understand though. People won't change. And I've been finding out more and elaborating a lot more on this mentally. Because I've been reading the actual book that had the mental complexities in it, right? And it was talking about why people won't change, right? And that's because they don't realize the layers of their belief system or the layers of how they think, right? So, for example, on the surface, they see, you know what, I want to lose 20 pounds. I'll give you an example that was like very clear in the book, right? So they broke it down to 3 levels. You know what? Let me just go get the book. 1, what do they really want? Like, what do you really want? Number 2, what will they do to keep from getting it? Basically, behaviors that work against the goal, right? And number 3, what are the competing commitments? And it talked about how commitments are what drive your life. And you have hidden commitments, right? That you don't even know about, and those are the ones that are in your subconscious. Those are the ones that are deep, that really control your true behavior. The book is called Immunity to Change, right? And let me see. The story they told about is this one woman that they worked with, right? And on the surface, she was like, I want to lose 20 pounds, blah, 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 right? That was the surface. That was number 1. What do they really want? And number 2 is what are the actions that keep her from getting her what they want, or the behaviors that get in the way. And it was like eating, dieting, blah, blah, like dumbass shit like that, right? And it was like most people, they won't change just based on wanting to change or knowing they need to. Even if your doctor told you you're gonna die if you don't stop doing this, most people won't change. And it talked about the third one. What are the hidden commitments or the competing commitments? And hers was so deep. That's why I remember it. But it's just, let's be honest. So in the book they talked about for hers, right? She would lose the weight and get it right back because she hated that she would start getting approached more when she was skinnier. Like guys would start walking up to her and she would get approached all the time. And the third one, the hidden commitment that she had was she hated feeling sexualized. So she would always get the weight back because it made her more comfortable not to be sexualized. But on the surface, she sees that she wants to lose 20 pounds. See, the surface level answer will be, oh, she has no discipline. She has no discipline. She can't stay consistent, blah, blah, blah. But when they got beneath the layers of it, it was a hidden commitment. It was a hidden belief system that was stop controlling her actions. And when you, I don't know if that example moved y'all. Like when I read it, I was like, damn. Because she didn't even realize what she was responding to or what was moving her actions. Because it was subconscious. It was a hidden commitment. It was something that she didn't even dig into why it made her feel that way or she didn't really see the full picture or think wide enough. Now, that's, mind you, that's one specific example. They had another one with a CEO. This was another good one. And let's be specific because they got his chart in here. They had one with a guy that struggled to be assertive, but it was like pretty obvious. Where's the CEO one? So, a couple of his goals, his commitments were: be more receptive to new ideas, be more flexible in my responses, especially regarding new definitions of roles and responsibilities. Be more open to delegating and supporting new lines of authority, right? Now, 2, remember the behaviors that prevented that goal was giving curt responses to new ideas, closing off, cutting off, or overruling, like having an overruling tone. Not asking open-ended questions or seeking opinions of others often enough. Communicating to others too much / too frequently what they need to do, what they need to touch back to me, or that they need to touch back to me. Number 3, being too quick to give an opinion when that may not be what people are asking for. Now, right, okay, I want to be more open-minded, but these are the behaviors I keep doing, right? So it's like somebody would say, oh, he just is arrogant, he has no self-control, he's just an asshole, blah, blah, blah. But guess what, right? The hidden commitments were to have things done my way, obviously. To experience myself as having a direct impact. So this is where the ego is involved. Number 3, to feel the pride of ownership of how we do things. That is, see my stamp. I thought that was more interesting. But especially this 4th one. To preserve my sense of myself as the super problem solver. The one who knows best, the one who is in control. So that's what ultimately kept him staying the same, is because he had this sense of self, which is that he must be in control. He must know what he's talking about. Why? Because this is the same sense of self that has made the company so successful. But it's now to be something different, to produce a different result, or to evolve from, the version of himself that got him this far. He must now give up on what has worked so well to protect him or to benefit him. So that hidden commitment is usually the level of the self that is limiting the most, but it feels so protective of us. It feels so dear to us because we think it has been good for us in some way. But you have to recognize that way doesn't benefit you anymore, and then now start planning. And now I'm still reading through the book and what they're saying to suggest, but my mind already gets to thinking. My mind already gets to going and going and going.